me, I guess.
You were on Joe Rogan. How exciting was that?
Oh.
By proxy.
It's just the same dumb comment about being a wiki warrior, but you know.
Well, you are a little bit of a wiki warrior. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that, but you're there. You're one step closer to being on Joe Rogan.
True.
Or are you?
In this next clip, we've got Destiny being interviewed by some snowflake leftist podcast. No clue who the guy is. And honestly, who cares? They're talking about Joe Rogan and acting like Destiny's got some real connection between Rogan, supposedly mentioned him once in his show. Now, they're fantasizing about him getting on the Joe Rogan Experience like it's a done deal. They even go as far as saying Rogan was so convincing they considered doing DMT because apparently Joe Rogan said so. Yeah, this is the level we're dealing with. Anyway, let's roll the clip.
One step farther in your mind. What do you think?
Probably closer. The more references and stuff. Yeah.
But he kind of called you like a bitch, right? Like that's almost like farther away. Because now
I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
When I listened to the clip, because people were phrasing it a certain way, when I listened to it, it seemed pretty harmless. I don't think he had like a strong. It wasn't like this guy gets on Wikipedia and then he pretends that he's a f***ing expert and it's like Hassan talks to me. It was more like, yeah, have you heard about this guy? He like apparently he reads a couple Wikipedia articles and then he goes and argues with people like he's an expert on stuff and blah. And that was like it. It was like it seemed like way more
in between those two explanations. I would go for, I think, is fair. But I don't know. I feel like you see how I'm using the I feel statements.
Good job. You're
that's
hedging.
Like,
Very nice.
I'm hedging. Well, Nate, I'm not hedging. I do feel like the odds are lower now. In my thinking, for the reason why the odds are lower is because he's publicly been like, this guy is not serious. So why would he now bring you on if he's done the this guy is not serious thing?
That is true because he's had very serious people on like Alex Jones and stuff. So maybe he only has like the most serious people. So I'm basically
well, Alex Jones probably does believe his own shit, right? Didn't you say that?
Is that what it means to be serious? You believe your own stuff?
Yeah.
Oh.
In his mind.
Isn't one of the viral clips in that show literally he's like, I'm kind of retarded.
Listen. Destiny's fanboy is acting like getting mentioned on Joe Rogan Experience is the equivalent of winning a Nobel Prize. Calm down. It was a drive-by roast, not an invitation. Joe Rogan called him a wiki warrior, and somehow this guy is pretending that's a compliment. Even Destiny had to admit he's probably less likely to get on the show now. Why? Because Rogan only brings on serious voices, people like Alex Jones, not Wikipedia reading Twitch streamers looking for clout.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded. In that... No.
That's going to be a soundbite.
That's my line.
Yeah,
I say that. Okay. Listen, I'd love to see it happen. I don't know how wild it would get. What do you think you would? Would you try to take him to task if you were on there, or would you be a good boy?
I think I would just want to talk about doing mushrooms for 3 hours.
Joe Rogan has this thing where he talks about DMT.
I know. That's the meme. My audience would kill themselves. As soon as I start talking about mushrooms, they would know it's like going to be 4 hours of drug time.
No, that's not what I'm saying. There was a thing I got linked by one of my friends. There's a whole thing going on about DMT. I don't need to get into it, but I got linked a thing about Joe Rogan and DMT, and it made me want to try DMT. It was very inspiring. The whole thing. I don't know. I had like nice music in the background and everything else. I don't know.
Why would you want to do? Why would you be scared of like mushrooms or weed, but you want to try DMT?
Listen, Joe Rogan is an excellent salesman. I was hooked. All right, he was like, you gotta do it.
Fucking ivermectin next if he gets COVID.
I don't know, man. He spoke to me. Okay, it was something about it. Mushrooms are definitely bad. I know that from personal experience. Same with acid. Same with marijuana. All of these things, I'm steering clear. But Joe Rogan, that background music. I can probably find the thing, but it was like. We don't want to play a full clip of Joe Rogan doing it. Actually, hold on. Maybe I have it. Let me see.
It's in every single ecosystem all over the world.
Oh my
it
God.
exists in plants and grasses, and it's everywhere. I mean, it's really the craziest drug to be illegal everywhere because everyone's got it in their system. It's like everyone's holding. That was like Terrence
Louder,
McKenna's
like
line. Yeah, and it's pretty intense stuff, man. If you do it, you will talk to intelligent beings from other dimensions for real.
I want to do that.
I mean, it sounds crazy. You would think that if there's something like that it would be on the front page. But it's amazing that people don't know about it. I mean, it's the most incredible experience. I mean, we are such an experience-obsessed society. I mean, everybody wants to go whitewater rafting, and people want to talk about, my uncle climbed Mount Everest. It's all about experiences. We all want to ride roller coasters and see the craziest movies. There is a little powder.
There's production value on this.
And it will change the way you look at everything. You won't care about UFOs. If a UFO landed right out there, I'd be like, wow, yeah, they're probably from another planet. Whatever. It's not.
Here we go. Mushrooms, DMT, and the drug cult. This is where every leftist suddenly tries to sound deep while hallucinating aliens. No thanks, I'll pass. And the snowflake in this clip, he trashes weed and acid, but now he wants to try DMT because it had nice background music. Seriously? Someone tells him that DMT is like mushrooms times 1,000,000, and suddenly he's ready to talk to aliens. Yeah, real legit. When you're out there chasing cosmic dopamine just to feel something, maybe it's not the universe that's lacking. Maybe what you're missing is something real and meaningful in your life. Here's an idea. Put down the dope, pick up a book, and have something worth saying when you actually go out on a date.
DMT is 100,000 times crazier than that. It's like mushrooms times 1,000,000 plus aliens.
Mushrooms times 1,000,000, Steve.
And literally, I mean, it sounds, it's crazier than you could possibly imagine or describe. If you take DMT, you will communicate with something. And it's so...
All right, this is a long video, but you get the point. That was very inspiring, and it had the... sound effect in the back, and that was like, okay, I'm sold. The video editor really is. That's who did it for me.
That's the key.
The video editor, he did a good job. I'm just gonna say it. Joe Rogan's August. He's got a few points on our August. Let's just say that.
Well,
all right.
Maybe we can swap them out sometime.
Yes. Okay. All right.
These guys are clowns. Take him to task. Spoiler. Destiny couldn't take Joe Rogan to task if he had the full Wikipedia entry printed out on cue cards. Every time he speaks, it's just stuttering between vape hits. So what's the takeaway? Joe Rogan throws one tiny jab and Destiny spirals into a 10-minute identity crisis about whether he's even good enough. That's the left in a nutshell, desperate for validation from the very men they pretend to hate. Hit that like button if you're not tripping on DMT anytime soon. Subscribe for real talk and drop a comment. Should Rogan actually invite Destiny on his podcast? And if he did, do you really think Destiny could take him to task?